When we peel back the layers of history, immersing ourselves in the world of ancient civilizations, we find a tapestry woven with complexity and contrast. On one hand, we see the dazzling achievements, the monumental architecture, and the advancements in art, science, and philosophy. Yet as we dig deeper, we uncover a darker side, filled with stories and secrets that challenge our perceptions and force us to look beyond the grandeur. Take ancient Egypt, a civilization that has captured imaginations for centuries with its pyramids, its pharaohs, and its intricate hieroglyphs. It's a culture that has been romanticized and mystified, often presented as a pinnacle of ancient achievement. But behind the colossal monuments and the tales of gods and kings, there lies a hidden narrative, a story of the everyday people whose blood and sweat fueled the empire's greatness. Archaeologists working in the shadows of the pyramids have unearthed the remains of the laborers who toiled under the harsh sun, chiseling and hauling the massive stones. The skeletons bear the marks of a life of grueling labor, spines compressed from carrying heavy loads, joints worn down to nubs, and signs of malnutrition. It's a stark reminder that the splendor of the pharaohs came at a human cost, a fact that the rulers of ancient Egypt would likely have preferred to keep in the shadows. Similarly, in the sprawling city of Rome, beneath the grand arches and the cobblestone streets, there lies a story of brutality and violence. The gladiators, often romanticized as heroic figures, were in fact slaves and prisoners, forced to fight to the death for the entertainment of the masses. The arenas were places of blood and carnage, where the value of human life was weighed against the roar of the crowd. The Roman elite, while basking in the glory of their empire, were also orchestrating a spectacle of cruelty, a dark aspect of their civilization that was both accepted and celebrated. And so, as we delve into the depths of history, uncovering the stories that have been buried and forgotten, we find a complex narrative, one that is both awe-inspiring and deeply unsettling. The ancient civilizations, with all their brilliance and innovation, also harbored a dark side, a side that serves as a potent reminder of the duality of human nature, the capacity for both greatness and cruelty. And as we navigate through the shadows of the past, we find ourselves faced with questions and reflections, pondering the true cost of progress and the stories that have been left untold. What other secrets lie hidden in the annals of history, waiting to be uncovered? As we continue on this journey of discovery, we must be prepared to face the darkness, embracing the full spectrum of our heritage with open eyes and a curious mind. Diving into the ancient land between two rivers, Mesopotamia, we find ourselves amidst civilizations that were pioneering in more than just writing and agriculture. They were also adept practitioners of the mystical and the arcane. The people of Mesopotamia believed that their world was inhabited by a multitude of spirits, gods, and demons, and that these entities played a direct role in their daily lives. Magic and rituals were their means of communication, control, and protection in this bustling spiritual ecosystem. Inscriptions on cuneiform tablets reveal a rich tapestry of magical practices. The people of Mesopotamia were not just passive participants in the spiritual realm. They were active conjurers, summoning and commanding spirits and gods for their purposes. Incantations and spells were meticulously crafted, often involving complex rituals and the use of specific, sometimes exotic ingredients. The incantation bowls, or demon traps, are fascinating artifacts from this era. They are inscribed with spells and were buried upside down in homes, believed to trap harmful spirits and protect the inhabitants. Exorcisms were a common practice, not just reserved for the possessed, but for any who found themselves afflicted by maladies or bad luck, which were often attributed to malevolent spirits or the evil eye. Priests and exorcists held significant power, possessing the knowledge and skill to navigate the spirit world and combat these invisible threats. They would recite powerful spells, perform elaborate rituals, and create protective amulets to shield individuals and entire communities from harm. Divination, the art of uncovering hidden knowledge and foretelling the future, was practiced with fervor. The people of Mesopotamia believed that the gods communicated through signs in the natural world and in the behavior of animals. Priests would read the stars, interpret the flight patterns of birds, and even inspect the livers of sacrificed animals for omens. It was a complex, intricate system that connected the mundane with the divine, providing guidance and reassurance in an unpredictable world. However, not all magical practices were benevolent. Curse tablets have been uncovered, inscribed with imprecations against personal enemies. These tablets called upon the gods and spirits to bring misfortune upon others, revealing a darker, more vindictive side of Mesopotamian magic. It was a world where the spiritual and the material were inextricably linked, where power could be harnessed through knowledge and ritual, and where the line between protection and harm was finely drawn. The ancient art of Mesopotamian magic provides a glimpse into a world that was deeply spiritual, complex, and at times perilous. The people navigated their lives amidst a cacophony of divine whispers and spiritual threats, using their knowledge of the dark arts to seek protection, power, and prosperity. And as we delve into this mystical realm, we uncover yet another layer of the ancient world, revealing the fears, hopes, and desires that drove these pioneers of civilization. Embarking on a journey back to ancient China, we find ourselves in the presence of one of history's most formidable figures, Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. Ascending to the throne at a young age, he was a ruler obsessed with control, immortality, and the safeguarding of his eternal legacy. His reign marked the unification of China, but it was also a time rife with strict laws, harsh punishments, and an all-encompassing paranoia about threats to his power. Qin Shi Huang's most famous legacy lies buried beneath the soil near his mausoleum, the Terracotta Army, a staggering collection of over 8,000 life-sized clay soldiers, horses, and chariots, each meticulously crafted and uniquely detailed. It is believed that the emperor commissioned this grand army to accompany him to the afterlife, to serve and protect him in the same way they did in life. The Terracotta Army wasn't just a symbol of the emperor's power, it was a manifestation of his deep-rooted fear of the afterlife and his obsessive desire for control even in passing. Each soldier in the Terracotta Army was positioned according to rank, armed with real weapons that were state-of-the-art at the time, ready for battle. The level of detail in the soldiers is astonishing, with no two faces alike, showcasing not just the craftsmanship of the ancient Chinese artisans, but also the emperor's insistence on realism and precision. It's a display of power meant to last for eternity. The construction of the Terracotta Army was an enormous undertaking, requiring immense resources and the labor of thousands of workers over the course of several years. It's a testament to the emperor's ability to mobilize and command his empire's resources, but it also reflects his paranoia and his obsession with maintaining control, even beyond the grave. Qin Shi Huang was known for his relentless quest for immortality, consulting with alchemists and sorcerers, and even embarking on journeys in search of the elixir of life. His fear of death and obsession with the afterlife drove him to extraordinary lengths, shaping not just his reign, but also his legacy. The construction of the Terracotta Army was as much about protecting himself in the afterlife as it was about showcasing his imperial might. The Terracotta Army lay forgotten for over 2 millennia until its discovery in 1974 by local farmers, offering a glimpse into the mind of one of history's most enigmatic rulers. The first emperor's desire for control, his paranoia about threats to his power, and his obsession with immortality are all frozen in time, captured in the stoic faces and battle-ready stances of the thousands of clay soldiers that make up the Terracotta Army. It's a silent testimony to the lengths one man would go to secure his legacy and maintain his grip on power, transcending the boundaries of life and death. Delving deep into the historical tapestry, we uncover patterns of secrecy and hidden agendas that have woven themselves into the very fabric of ancient civilizations. The past, with its complex layers, holds more secrets than what meets the eye, and it provokes the question: what remains buried, shrouded in the sands of time, waiting to tell its story? There are countless examples of ancient sites and artifacts that have yet to reveal their true purposes or origins. The underground cities of Cappadocia in Turkey, for instance, are a labyrinth of tunnels and rooms carved out of soft volcanic rock. These subterranean cities could accommodate tens of thousands of people and had everything needed for daily life, including churches, schools, and even wineries. But the exact reason why these cities were built remains a mystery. Were they solely for protection against invaders, or did they serve a deeper, more enigmatic purpose? Similarly, the Nazca lines in Peru, massive geoglyphs etched into the desert floor, have perplexed scientists and historians for decades. Theories about their purpose range from astronomical calendars, ceremonial pathways, to elaborate irrigation systems. Yet, without any written records from the Nazca civilization, the true purpose of these colossal drawings remains speculative, hidden beneath the veil of time. Another intriguing aspect of the past is the sudden disappearance of entire civilizations, leaving behind remnants of their existence but no clear answers. The Maya civilization, known for its advanced knowledge in astronomy and mathematics, inexplicably collapsed in the 9th century. While there are theories ranging from climate change, warfare to resource depletion, the exact cause of their demise is still a subject of ongoing research and debate. These examples illustrate that the past is not always an open book, and there are chapters that remain unwritten, waiting for the right moment or discovery to bring them to light. The hidden agendas of ancient governments and societies might have played a crucial role in these mysteries, whether it was to protect valuable resources, safeguard sacred knowledge, or consolidate power. The hidden agendas of the past have the power to alter our understanding of history and the civilizations that came before us. As we continue to excavate, research, and analyze, we are peeling back layers, getting closer to the truths that have been buried for centuries. But the journey is far from over, and the questions remain. What else is hidden beneath our feet? What stories are waiting to be told? The answers, shrouded in mystery, lie in the hidden agendas of the past, challenging us to keep searching, keep questioning, and keep unraveling the secrets of history. Do you remember everything that you learned in your history class? What if I told you that some significant chunks of our shared past might be lost, altered, or even deliberately forgotten? And no, I'm not talking about your inability to recall the dates of the French Revolution. Our understanding of history, especially the ancient world, is often like a jigsaw puzzle. Only we are not always sure if we've got all the pieces. From the advanced civilizations lost to time, to the real age of the Sphinx and the mysteries of Antarctica, there are chapters of our past that might dramatically reshape our understanding of human history, but have remained on the fringes of mainstream academia. So let's dive into some of these historical mysteries that have slipped through the cracks, or that governments have tried to make us forget. Project Highjump, an official US Navy mission that launched in 1946, remains cloaked in a layer of mystery. Led by Admiral Richard E. Byrd, this Antarctic expedition involved 4,700 men, 13 ships and 33 aircraft. Ostensibly, the mission's purpose was to establish the Antarctic research base Little America 4, test military hardware in extreme conditions, and refine and develop Arctic rescue techniques. However, numerous conspiracy theories have swirled around the true purpose of the mission, fueled in part by Byrd's later comments to a Chilean newspaper. In an interview, he warned of enemy fighters that can fly from pole to pole with incredible speed, leading many to speculate about hidden German bases, advanced technologies, or even extraterrestrial involvement. While most of these theories lack substantive evidence, the abrupt end to the expedition, initially planned for 6 to 8 months but culminating in just 8 weeks, raises questions. Official records attributed this to early onset of winter and worsening weather conditions, yet these reports haven't entirely quashed public curiosity. To this day, many details about the expedition remain classified, leaving space for conjecture. It's important to tread carefully when separating fact from fiction in such cases. These scenarios remind us that sometimes the historical narratives we receive may not present the complete picture. It underscores the crucial need for transparency in historical and governmental documentation to ensure that history, in its fullest sense, is available to us all. The Great Library of Alexandria, founded in the 3rd century BCE, was an intellectual beacon of the ancient world. Positioned in Alexandria, Egypt, it was dedicated to the Muses, the 9 goddesses of the arts. This grand institution attracted scholars from all around the ancient world, housing an unrivaled collection of manuscripts and books on a wide range of subjects, including astronomy, geography, philosophy, and medicine. Some estimates suggest the library held over 500,000 documents from Assyria, Greece, Persia, Egypt, India, and many other nations. However, the destruction of the Library of Alexandria and the vast knowledge it contained is one of history's greatest losses. Its fall is usually attributed to a fire, which could have occurred at several points in the library's existence. The potential culprits range from Julius Caesar's army during the siege of Alexandria in 48 BCE, to later devastations associated with the purges of paganism under Christian Roman emperors. The mystery surrounding the loss of the Library of Alexandria is made more complex by the fact that for centuries, the blame has been passed around between different cultures, empires, and religions. Its demise has become a symbol of knowledge being lost, and is often used to criticize the anti-intellectual periods throughout history. However, it is critical to remember that history is often written by the victors, who may have reasons to downplay or ignore their destructive acts. Despite its fall, the Library of Alexandria's intellectual legacy continues to impact our understanding of the ancient world. Its loss is a sobering reminder of the transient nature of human knowledge and the need to continually preserve and disseminate it. In the traditional narrative, Christopher Columbus is hailed as the discoverer of the Americas, arriving in 1492 on behalf of the Spanish crown. But that is an overly simplified and misleading narrative. Columbus was not the first outsider to step foot in the New World, nor were the cultures he encountered discovered. They had thriving societies, complex governmental systems, and rich cultural traditions long before Columbus's ships appeared on the horizon. There's plenty of evidence to suggest that the Norse, led by Leif Erikson around the year 1000 CE, were the first known Europeans to establish settlements in North America, specifically in what we now know as Newfoundland, Canada. These Viking explorers had already been living and trading in these parts of the New World some 500 years before Columbus set sail. The remains of their settlements have been studied extensively since they were unearthed in the 1960s. In addition to the Norse, there are numerous theories and some tantalizing pieces of evidence that point to other possible pre-Columbian explorers. Some of these include the Polynesians, the Chinese, the Welsh, and even the Irish. Each theory has its own array of circumstantial evidence, from peculiar inscriptions and artifacts to oral traditions and linguistic oddities. Even more significantly, the narrative that Columbus discovered the Americas glosses over the rich and diverse cultures that already existed there. The Aztecs, Mayans, Incas, and numerous North American tribes had civilizations that rivaled those in Europe, with their own scientific, mathematical, and cultural achievements. Acknowledging these facts challenges the traditional Eurocentric view of history, and it's often a narrative that is uncomfortable to confront. There is an inclination to present history in a way that reinforces the dominant cultural paradigm, and anything that contradicts this is often overlooked or downplayed. However, understanding these truths is crucial to appreciate the breadth and diversity of human history in all its complexity. Ancient advanced civilizations such as the Sumerians, Egyptians, Indus Valley inhabitants, and the people of ancient China have long been sources of fascination and intrigue. Some of their knowledge and practices display a sophistication and understanding of the world that seem years ahead of their time. However, mainstream academia often prefers to maintain a linear narrative of human progress that doesn't always fit with these realities. Take the example of the Sumerians. They were an early civilization emerging in the Mesopotamian region around 4500 BCE. The Sumerians are credited with the invention of writing, the wheel, and sophisticated systems of agriculture, law, and religion. But there's more. They also had detailed knowledge of the solar system, including the existence of planets not visible to the naked eye, facts that they presumably had no means of knowing. Similarly, the construction techniques and astronomical alignments of the Egyptian pyramids and other ancient structures, such as Stonehenge, have baffled researchers for centuries. Despite a lack of access to modern technology, these structures were created with a precision that rivals modern construction techniques. This suggests that our ancient ancestors were more advanced than traditionally believed. Then we have the civilization of the Indus Valley, where people enjoyed city planning and sanitary systems that are surprisingly similar to our own. The cities of Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa had complex sewer systems and grid-like city layouts, showing a level of urban planning and understanding of hygiene that was unique for its time. Our history, as told by conventional narratives, often omits or glosses over these feats of ancient ingenuity. This doesn't necessarily imply a conspiracy, but rather a tendency to fit history into a familiar, comfortable narrative. Re-examining these narratives pushes us to recognize that our ancestors were capable of incredible achievements and to understand that the path of human progress isn't always a straight line. The Sphinx is one of the most iconic monuments of ancient Egypt, its colossal body of a lion and the head of a man gazing out across the Giza Plateau. Traditionally, it is thought to have been built by the pharaoh Khafre around 2500 BCE. However, this dating is based largely on circumstantial evidence, and a growing body of research suggests that the Sphinx might be significantly older, potentially pushing back the timeline of advanced human civilization. One of the main proponents of this theory is Dr. Robert Schoch, a geologist and associate professor of natural sciences at the Boston University. After years of studying the Sphinx and its surrounding enclosure, Dr. Schoch concluded that the weathering patterns on the Sphinx are not caused by wind and sand, as traditionally believed, but by long-term rainfall erosion. This would suggest that the Sphinx was built during a period of greater rainfall, which last occurred in Egypt around 5000 to 7000 BCE during the Neolithic subpluvial or the African humid period. Further, the astronomical alignment of the Sphinx with the constellation of Leo around 10,500 BCE has led other researchers such as Graham Hancock and Robert Bauval to propose a similar date. They argue that the Sphinx was part of a grand celestial blueprint designed by an advanced civilization, a narrative that challenges the conventional understanding of human history. There's also the legend of the Hall of Records proposed by the American clairvoyant Edgar Cayce, who claimed that survivors of the lost city of Atlantis buried their knowledge in a library under the Sphinx. While this might be a touch too speculative, it nevertheless underscores the mystery surrounding the true age of the Sphinx. Challenging the traditional narrative of the age and purpose of the Sphinx could potentially rewrite human history. It implies that there existed civilizations with advanced technical and scientific capabilities much earlier than previously thought. Yet it's a topic often avoided in mainstream academia, which can be resistant to radically new ideas that unsettle established narratives. The mystery of the Sphinx serves as a stark reminder of how much of our past might still be hidden, waiting for us to piece together the puzzle of human history. The Indus Valley Civilization, which flourished around 2500 BCE in what is now Pakistan and India, was one of the world's earliest urban civilizations, noted for its cities built of brick, roadside drainage systems, and multi-storied houses. The people of the Indus Valley showed advanced city planning and engaged in efficient agricultural practices. But around 1700 BCE, this advanced civilization started to decline, and by 1300 BCE, it had vanished completely. Its script remains undeciphered, leaving us with little understanding of its social structures and ways of life. So what caused the disappearance of the Indus Valley civilization? Some historians suggest a change in weather patterns, with prolonged droughts leading to crop failures. Others propose a catastrophic flood or an invasion by Indo-Aryans as probable causes, but without hard evidence, these are mere speculations. Interestingly, modern governments have shown an oddly lukewarm interest in delving deeper into this mystery. Some suggest this could be due to the potential implications that further archaeological findings might have on current religious and social structures. This theory, while intriguing, only adds to the mystery. What secrets does the ancient Indus Valley civilization hold that might disrupt our understanding of history? As we continue to unravel the mysteries of our past, the truth of this civilization lost to time may yet come to light. So there you have it, the shadowy corners of our shared history that rarely see the light of mainstream acknowledgement. Each of these examples, from the Library of Alexandria to the Sphinx of Giza, serves as a stark reminder of how much of our past remains undiscovered or contested. Maybe, as Carl Sagan once said, you have to know the past to understand the present. And as always, it's the quest for knowledge, the relentless pursuit of truth, that propels us forward. We are constantly piecing together the scattered fragments of our past to construct a clearer picture of our journey as a species. And as we dig deeper, who knows what other astounding revelations await us in the sands of forgotten time. Remember, history is not just about the past, it's also a roadmap that guides us into the future. And as always, thanks for watching.